As the elected Attorney General of California,
she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
and I am proud of that work.
She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.
And I am proud of that work.
Innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them.
And I am proud of that work.
And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Hello, everybody.
All right, here we are. It's another beautiful, hot,
Girl summer.
dry summer in Moreno Valley, California, Southern California. You guys, welcome, welcome. This is Do Not Believe the Hype. Don't believe the hype, or you can call it What's Wrong with You. I'm Donovan Sadiq, joined by Miss Controversy herself, Demetra K. We are here to pull this green screen back, show you what's really going on, get past the soundbite so you can really see who's pulling those bells and whistles and all that other good stuff. So today's big trending topic is Hot Girl Summer.
Is that what that is?
Hot Girl Summer. And those of you guys that watched the debates, I did watch them. As you know, I'm a political junkie. And let me tell you something, Kamala Harris was not having a hot girl summer. So a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to chop it up. I mean, we told you this was going to happen. Big ups to the black media. Let's give them a round of applause, because the reparations issue would not be talked about if these guys hadn't held on to it like a pit bull holding on to a bone. We're not letting them drop the issue. All these candidates have been forced to take a position on it. You're not for reparations. You're not getting our votes. And,
Right.
and that shows you that they're listening, because it's like they need the black vote. That's why they're trying to do what they're trying to do. So, but before we get into that, the last Sunday we talked about...
What is that?
I know.
You know, when you turn 48, 4 days ago, it's a long
That's
time.
a long time.
Then we talked about voting still,
Yeah,
right?
there's
Talking
a
about
little
voting.
voting
And, Baltimore, which is kind of
Yes.
still...
was what Trump said.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that today as well, because a lot has happened. As we know, he's also gone after Al Sharpton, and so yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and I like Al Sharpton. He goes, if I was a crook or whatever,
Right.
he'd nominate me for his cabinet.
Right, I'd be an
awesome
con
comeback.
man,
Yeah,
yeah.
if I was a con man, I'd be in the cabinet. So let's get into it. Let's start, shall we?
All right.
Okay, here we go. If you guys watch the debates, the biggest
And,
thing...
and you guys, please chime in with your opinions about the debate. And Tab, you already
a
made
press
a comment.
conference, yeah.
Let's see. So let's just greet everybody. Sydney was happening, and Tay says, "Oh man, these debates were a huge wake-up call."
We were telling everybody.
And then you also said Kamala just finished holding a press conference. Oh my God!
Yeah, what was the press conference about?
How she's hungry because her lunch got ate.
Or maybe she's dropping out, which is, I mean, she's pretty much done at this point, if you ask me.
Do tell, Tay. Do tell.
Yeah,
What
do
was
tell.
it about?
So if you guys watched the debates, I mean, it wasn't really a great thing. Let's go to debate night one. Those of you guys that hadn't heard, the winner of that debate, in my opinion, was Marianne Williamson.
Yeah, that's.
Flint is just the tip of the iceberg. We have an administration that has gutted the Clean Water Act. We have communities, particularly communities of color and disadvantaged communities all over this country, who are suffering from environmental injustice. If you think any of this wonkiness is going to deal with this dark psychic force of the collectivized hatred that this president is bringing up in this country, then I'm afraid that the Democrats are going to see some very dark days. We need to say it like it is. It's bigger than Flint. It's all over this country. It's particularly people of color. It's particularly people who do not have the money to fight back. And if the Democrats don't start saying in it, then why would those people feel that they're there for us? And if those people don't feel it, they won't vote for us, and Donald Trump will win.
Many of your opponents support a commission to study the issue of reparations for slavery. But you are calling for up to $500 billion in financial assistance. What makes you qualified to determine how much is owed in reparations?
Well, first of all, it's not $500 billion in financial assistance. It's $500 billion, $200 to $500 billion, payment of a debt that is owed. That is what reparations is. I'll tell you what makes me qualified. If you did the math of the 40 acres and a mule, given that there was 4 to 5 million slaves at the end of the Civil War, there were 4 to 5, and they were all promised 40 acres and a mule for every family of 4. If you did the math today, it would be trillions of dollars. And I believe that anything less than $100 billion is an insult. And I believe that $200 to $500 billion is politically feasible today because so many Americans realize there is an injustice that continues to form a toxicity underneath the surface, an emotional turbulence that only reparations
thank you very much.
That's what I heard.
You know,
yeah.
She hit it right on the nail. She let people understand. And, you know, a lot of white people kind of, like, understood.
She broke it down.
Yeah, she said, hey.
She broke it down.
Reparations for black people is a debt owed.
Correct.
Now, her numbers, I mean, she gave the right number. She said it's in the trillions. But she says, as a president, I would break it down and to the 500 billions or something like that. But the point is, we've got to talk about it somewhere and start the talking point.
Right.
But, you know, she pretty much won that night. I mean, I don't know how anybody can say.
And then for those of you guys didn't watch, and I admittedly did not watch either. Hey, Charles, I didn't watch either. I saw the talking points and the snippets like probably most people did. I tried to watch the first night debate. It was just a little on the dry side. But Marianne Williamson obviously is a candidate. Well, it wasn't even that obvious to a lot of people because a lot of people made fun of her.
Yeah, because she's talking in, you know,
it's all about love and that kind of stuff.
Hippie terms.
Right,
and,
which, you know, I can dig it, you know. So a lot of people didn't take her candidacy seriously because, like I said, they thought she was kind of aloof a little bit and whatnot. But then she, being Marianne Williamson, took mastery of the issue of reparations. Because, you know, most people get up there and say, oh, yes, we need to study it. And she said, nah.
We've already, there's no need to do that.
She said, we're done. And I also watched TMZ, where TMZ had her on, and she was talking about, they asked her, what did you think about Don Lemon?
Your boy.
Of all people, a black man, questioning your qualifications to speak about reparations. Right. She says, I'm appalled. You know, like, how dare he try to ask me? She says, what's my qualifications to do math, is what she said.
Right.
But as you guys saw during the debate, she was like, it's owed because of A, B, C, and D. We need this much money, which is not enough, but it's a start.
It's a start.
Black people, and then I loved how she redefined Jim Crow and calling it domestic terrorism. Because that's what Jim Crow was, and it still is. Domestic terrorism, when you terrorize the people who live in your own country by lynching and all that. So she called it what it was. And so to your point, where, you know, even a lot of white people, it says like 80-something% of white people are against reparations for black people, finally understood, like, oh, that makes sense. And Andrew Yang, last night, and I'm going to get to every last one of your comments, Andrew Yang also brought a little bit more information to the party in saying that money, and he's talking about his universal basic income of the $1,000 a month for Americans 18 and over, said that's necessary, especially to the black community, because he said the year, 2035-ish, there will not be any black income at all. And so he's not necessarily for reparations, but some people will say that's a form of reparations, because imagine what that would do for
a lot of people out of poverty.
Yes, I mean, let's say you have a household full of adults, 5 adults. That's $5,000 in your household extra every month. Collectively, we could build a business. And so Andrew Yang understood, and he took mastery of it as well and did the numbers, because he says, I'm a numbers guy. It says, you know, in the year, I think it's 2035, there will be no Black Wealth Act.
Right. I mean, we are already what the average black family, they say, is at like $1,000 a month.
The wealth, I think maybe 15
Yeah.
compared to
The
average white wealth that
person,
was in
right.
the 100,000s.
Right.
So between those two, it's not, well, let's just talk about it, let's do some research. It's, no, we've done all that. What else do we need to research? We know that slavery was a thing. We know Africans were brought from Africa to do the most heinous and have the most heinous things done to them under, with the premise to build what we now live in is called America. There's nothing else to research. We know about that. And I think a lot of people keep saying research because they know the truth, but that's just a way of saying, well, let's just wait a little bit longer. No, time to talk is over. Give us the money.
Exactly.
So that was a good takeaway from night one. Marianne Williamson, I like her. I'm undecided. As a few people, I like Marianne Williamson.
Sure. Like I said, you know, but here's the thing: we need to make sure that Marianne Williamson makes it to the next round. The Andrew Yangs make it to the next round.
Right.
I mean, you already said that they've already disqualified him.
Because he actually made an announcement a couple days ago. He being Andrew Yang made an announcement saying that he had qualified. I mean, because I guess you have to qualify and get a high number in all the polls. Yeah. And I think it's the NBC poll that's the one that's in question.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous because the rules should determine what the people want to see, or shouldn't determine what the people want to see versus their candidates.
But then again, if your third eye is over just a little bit, most people are a little bit woke. It's like, okay, so is it that he didn't qualify, or the establishment doesn't want him to qualify? You know,
that's what it comes down to.
Because if he's a numbers guy, wouldn't he know if he qualified? He qualified the other 2 times.
Exactly. And they're trying to whittle it down. And did you notice during the debates, certain candidates, CNN and those guys were like throwing them softballs and making sure, like, you know, Bernie. I love the way Bernie and Elizabeth Warren teamed up and defended each other again, because on the first night of the debate, I saw 7 Republicans up there, maybe 3 or 4 Democrats.
Right. Oh, I got it.
Everybody was like, you can't do this. It's just like Warren said, why take the thing of running for president and you don't want to do anything?
Well, I think that was Marianne Williamson said that about.
No, that was Warren.
She said that.
Yeah,
okay, she did say that, but then Marianne Williamson said something about everybody saying that they're Democrats, but they don't want to use the programs or whatever it is to actually help people.
The bold action and taking the bold direction, and it was just plainly obvious that this is a dog and pony show, and the reason why we have so many Democrats running is to ensure that Bernie does not get the nomination. That is the only reason. So they're banking on Biden, Kamala, and what's that other one? Klobuchar, whatever her name is. And you know, that chick is just like I don't trust people that are prosecutors. Because if you were a bad prosecutor, you're going to be a bad presidential candidate leader because you're going to have that same thing.
Yeah, you can do that way.
Second night, but speaking of hot girl summer, let's talk about your girl.
Well, let's get to these comments really quick. Okay, so Sydney says, yep, Kamala finished defending health care and economic plan and praised Obama because, yeah, she has a new, because wasn't she against Medicare for all at first, and now
she says one thing on stage, and then off stage she says something totally different.
And then her economic plan, it's kind of, it's kind of all over the place. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Makes no sense.
And then Sydney says, Williamson is my candidate. I like her.
Yeah.
I like her. So I might be with you on that one. And Charles says the progressive won, and Williamson got her shot at it at the corporate Democrats. The corporate Dems took a beating.
Yeah, they
yes,
sure
they did.
did.
And Tay says, biggest takeaway from Kamala's press conference, she stands behind her prosecutorial record.
Oh, she's going to double down on it.
Right.
Okay,
And
you're done. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And Sydney says, Warren had a good night, too.
Yeah, she did.
And then Tay says, also, upon further review of Williamson, she isn't the candidate for us. Okay. And then Sydney wants to know why, Tay. And then Charles says, that is exactly what it is, domestic terrorism. Yes, it is. And let's see, and then, let's keep rolling. Charles says, oh yeah, Yang said he would invest $4 billion into the state of Maryland, and Baltimore desperately needs those funds, and not downtown businesses district either, which is what they do everywhere, right? Hey, Joey says 2050, no wealth. I mean, that's, 2050 is not that, 30 years from now. I mean, I plan to be here 30 years from now. And then Loria was having said she was awesome. I wanted her to keep talking. She was telling the truth. She has books out as well. Yes. She's kind of an Oprah girl too. She's like Oprah's spiritual advisor, one of them. And then
when Dr. Phil left, Oprah had to replace her with somebody.
Right. And then Charles says, I want to see Mike Gravel.
Gravel.
And then Cindy says 2% in all polls. So the polls, he needs 2%. And then Cindy says Bernie has no chance of winning, and Lori says I do not like her. So I think she's talking about Kamala. So take it away.
Right. Okay. So how long ago did we talk about Kamala and her record?
It's been a while. When she first announced.
When she first announced, and and what happened when we first announced? Every chick, wannabe side chick, wannabe sororo chick, jump on my neck. How you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know this, that. Here's the funny thing. Did not, what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard recite our exact talking points on Kamala.
Yeah, to say the least.
She went right now, which tells me they are listening to black media. They are listening to you guys in your comments on these pages and us in our conversation. No, if we don't pay attention to what's going on, the revolution will not be televised.
So Tulsi Gabbard, okay, for those of you guys don't know, she is a representative for Hawaii, also running.
She's an Army major, Army Reserves.
And I don't know why. I think because we're getting a lot of messages and stuff coming in. So I apologize for that, you guys. So Tulsi Gabbard is also running for the Democratic ticket for the President of the United States. And you guys recall the last debate.
And she's the anti-war candidate.
Correct.
That's her whole spill.
Because she was in Iraq and this, that, and this. So she's a veteran, if you will.
She's a military.
So anyway, if you guys recall, I'm going to take you guys back to the debate that they had, what is it, June? The first debate they had. Where Kamala had her moment in the sun, if you will, where she sucker punched Joe. She says, me being the only black candidate up here, I'd like to be able to speak about race. You know, Joe Biden's busing hurt me. So notice she didn't say anything about black people. She said about her. So anyway, I have been saying this. Now, and I'm sure a lot of other people said it too, but I've been saying this, that Kamala will not get another pass. Come the second debate, somebody is going to stick it to her.
You said it.
I didn't think it would be Gabby. I thought maybe Joe would come a little bit more prepared.
But then Joe did come prepared.
He did.
He came prepared.
Yeah, Joe was like, not today,
on her
sweetheart.
record.
Right.
On her prosecutor record.
But it was Miss Tulsi Gabbard who, and it was so eloquent.
Yes.
You know.
And and she was like this. Kamala was like
because she being Kamala tried to come back from it and say, well, everybody's up here with their rehearsed speeches and their talking points or whatever.
Yeah, and then she went to another talking point.
But what happened was, Tulsi said, that's cute, boo-boo. However, let's not forget that she also is responsible for holding, and I'm paraphrasing, but inmates in prison for stuff they didn't do and thought it was a good idea to get cheap.
Innocent man on death row.
And to get cheap labor off of inmates in the California penal system.
After the Supreme Court told you to release them.
And she made it a point to say you have to be forced to let these people out. And so Gabby did not allow Kamala to take her off kilter. She was like, nah, because people need to hear this, because it was cute what you did to Joe Biden, but I think they all at some point were prepared to do it, but Gabby was like, nah.
Yeah, I'm going to take this.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.
A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect. Going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco.
And, and I'm glad she brought out the point, and I'm just going to say this for everybody that's listening. Kamala kept an innocent man on death row, even though her office had the fact that this man was innocent.
Tell him why. Why she didn't want to let him out?
What, the innocent guy?
Yeah.
Oh, because he filed his paperwork too late. You got the evidence that he's innocent, but you're going to keep him on death row because he filed his paperwork too late.
And that's a fact. Like a lot of people, and I've seen the people talking about it online and stuff, and they're like, really?
Yes.
For real?
And
that's a fact.
And it's amazing how people, after seeing what happened to her last night, was like, what? We didn't know.
How?
We've been telling you
but
guys.
You know what it is? I'm going to tell y'all why more people are in the know about Kamala now, because it took for Tulsi Gabbard to get up there, and she wasn't arguing with her.
Right.
She wasn't acting
Didn't need
crazy. She didn't even stutter when she was saying it. She just laid the facts out. I mean, it was
And
not.
Kamala
She
did
didn't
not
tell
refute it.
because it wasn't a lie.
Yeah.
But notice before Tulsi ate her lunch, she kept saying, "Oh, that's false.
Yeah.
That's 100% false.
Right.
Oh, that is not true." And I was like,
And you see her face as she was talking.
"Is anything true? Like, there's nothing."
No collusion! No collusion! You know?
But she couldn't do it. She couldn't dispute that.
Yeah, and and here's the funny thing: if you guys could go back and watch the clip, I'll put the clip up at somewhere on the video. Go back and check this out, you guys. Not only did Tulsi eat her lunch, Tulsi took her lunch and spitting the peanuts back in the Kamala's face, and just you know what I mean? It was
right.
And Kamala she couldn't refute anything.
We were talking earlier, and I said it was like watching a boxer that got the wind knocked out of him. And it's like, how many more rounds do we have? 'Cause I don't want to do this no more.
Right. And then if you notice the video, then Kamala reflects away from the questions altogether and went back to Joe.
What's for lunch?
Yeah. I mean, she was just getting hit, and it was just like, oh my gosh. But you know what? At the end of the day, and I've said this, Kamala, your candidacy is over. It's done. It's done.
But
Because now
she's
people are going to Google it.
Yeah.
People are going to Google it, and no, what it is they told her to stay in as long as possible to prevent Bernie from getting the nomination. Will Bernie get the nomination? No, because they've been finagling all this in the Democratic Party for a long
I
time.
think we just need to come to terms that it is going to be Joe Biden.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah.
see here. Charles says, yes, the F Bernie do have a chance of winning.
Well, no, he has a chance if it was a fair thing, but Perez, that guy looks like I don't know what the thing is like. He's something wrong with him.
Who's Perez?
Tom Perez, he's the DNC chair.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to, he was put there not to make it fair.
Right.
So that's their whole thing is to deny Bernie the nomination.
And Gloria says, I'm talking about Kamala. I don't like her, never have.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're here in California. There's no
Right.
reason why you should like her knowing her record.
And then Cindy says she has no chance of winning Gabbard. Yeah,
No.
she probably doesn't, but it's good that she's there. She's going to be there, at least serve a purpose
Yes.
and let people know that if it ain't going to be me, it surely shouldn't be her either, and this is why.
Exactly.
You know?
And you got to remember, Tulsi Gabbard's around my age, so she's a major in the Air Force Reserves. But the thing is, when you run for president, you don't necessarily run to win your first time out. You run for name recognition. Obama became the nominee because he spoke at John Kerry's inauguration at the DNC. That's how people got to know him.
And plus, like Al says, she's eye candy.
Yeah.
She
is.
And Tay says Tulsi is the Jill Stein of this election.
Yes.
And what happened to her? Where's she at? And then you also say Gabbard, I keep calling her Gabby for some reason. Gabbard needs to speak on her relationship with Assad and why she met him in secret. Oh.
Well, hey, she's a young girl. Wait. You're worried about that, and you're not worried about Kamala and Willie Brown? She might be the side chick for Assad. We don't know. Right?
No, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
And it's Loria says, and I loved it. Probably talking about when Tulsi ate Kamala's lunch. What's happening, Joe? Now
he hasn't been in jail in a minute.
Right, you doing good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just call Facebook and say, hey, you guys watching this guy? You got an ankle monitor on this guy? You let him going home or what?
Tay says Gabbard is also supported by Bannon, David Duke, and Richard Spencer. What? Really? Well,
She was part of a cult growing up, so.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I mean, I never even thought about voting for Tulsi, but I do like the fact that she was the one to kind of take all the sail out of Kamala's, wind out of her sails. I like that about her.
And I'm glad that she did it too, because she's another woman. So Kamala can't use look at these men just ganging up on me.
So we know the next debate that Kamala's going to come with that, probably the same thing. So it should be interesting. And Lori says, but Kamala said in an interview that she enjoyed the debate. Yeah, right. That she had to say that.
That's your
But she didn't say, oh my God, I was just so traumatized. She ate my lunch. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Ate my lunch and threw the banana peel in my face.
Right.
You know?
And Charles says, no, Biden. I mean, let's just keep it real. I think it's fair to assume that Biden is probably going to be on the one of the ticket. Now, who's going to be the vice president? I think that's because, Biden is up there.
I got to say, if Bernie and what's her name got together, that would be Warren, that would be a very strong ticket to be in the
But she's for reparations and he's not.
No, she was like, reparations for what?
Who?
That's what Warren said.
She changed her mind?
No, she didn't. Well, I think she changed her mind now, talking about reparations now, but when they first approached her, she was like, write a check for what?
Oh yeah, now she's totally on board.
When you come to people like that, your first inclination
and
is
you gotta
your
be
truth inclination.
contractually held, like Dr. Todd Anderson said. You're not taking yourself with our black votes, and you're talking about I'm gonna, and then you get up there and then you don't, right? And then Jonelle says the greatest show on earth, the idle debate, the money talks. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And then Cindy says Bernie is not winning New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Cali. Wow, did he win Cali last time?
He did win Cali last time, but he barely lost it.
Yeah, because we actually was out, we covered it a little bit when he was out here.
And then I want to go back to Tulsi real quick. She was talking about Kamala's health care plan for all. And she pointed out, because Kamala says, Sebelius, the former director of the whatever she was, and the Obama administration, she endorsed it. But Sebelius is on the director's board of the pharmaceutical company that would profit for this program if it went through. And Kamala was like, well, no, she just endorsed it. She didn't write it. That's not the point. The point was, I love the fact
Kamala, take your breadcrumbs and go home.
Yeah, take your butter biscuit and
and go home.
But I love the fact that Tulsi, like I said, she's there to be a thorn.
Right.
So.
And then let's see, Gloria says, and she just got endorsed by some big shot person. Who, Kamala, and then Cindy says Al needs his eyes checked. He doesn't think Tulsi is eye candy. Really, Cindy?
Man, have you seen her? Oh my gosh, she's plain looking, but you gotta look at the overall.
I think she's cute.
Yeah, she's alright.
And then Tay says F Kamala and Biden. I mean, I'm with you on that one. Neither one of them are gonna get my vote. And Tay says you ain't got some airtime, but not enough. I agree. It seemed like he was just starting to warm up, and it's like, okay, so let's give us your closing statements.
But see, they do that because they want to give most of the time to the designated.
And you know what, too? I really loved about Yang. I really wish Yang was for reparations, but hell, you never know.
Something's better than that.
What I really loved is when they tried to get him in the dog fight, he just reflected it back to himself.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about, this racism, Joe Biden, the busing and all that, but let me tell you about what I got going for you. That there, whoever is training him, stay on message, because people will never hear about you
and your platform.
Talking about everybody else. He didn't even take the bait. He was like, nice, however, this is the initiative I got. Reparations, well, yes, I got the UBI.
Yes,
you know?
And, for me, I'm still with Yang right now. I'm still with Yang. He's got my vote. So.
I like quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But he is one of them. And Charles says, what about that Coop, the governor of Montana, and that silly Barney Fife-looking guy, Elizabeth Warren beat the hell out of?
That one guy, Issel, whatever his name is, he's the environmental guy. Have you noticed that during the debate, everybody kept referring to him?
Yeah.
Because he's on it when it comes to the environment and global warming and all that other stuff.
Or something?
Yeah, Inslee, whatever his name is. So that was his mantra. But the other guy from Colorado,
one of them looked like Lurch.
Yeah, Bennett or whatever. Yeah, the
hair was.
Yeah. But the one guy, Bennett, was like, well, we gotta do the.
Is that Lurch?
Yeah, that's the Lurch guy.
Yeah.
You know, all these guys are put there for name recognition and to split the vote. That's pretty much it.
And Tay says, I still think that Julio is underrated. I think he is too.
But
what did he say? Hasta luego or
yeah,
something?
hasta luego, adios.
Adios or something he said
But see, here's
last
the
night.
thing,
Which is
though.
fine. That is what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, here's the thing though, and we need to learn from that. This guy is a former secretary and a mayor of San Antonio, whatever, and notice he's carping for illegal people. He's standing up for illegal people, and I'm just like, yikes, you know. But this is the mentality here, and there was a lot of protesting going on at the debate in Detroit, talking about immigrants. Now it's funny, in the North they say immigrants. They don't say Mexicans.
Oh.
They say immigrants.
Yeah, and it reminded me about Bill de Blasio.
Yes.
And so, Santiago, what's happening? He says, how are you remembering me so I am alone here? So good. Where are you seeing your alarm for me a long time? So I was high water on the bridge a long day. How we be friends? I want you so.
One of Denitra's many admirers.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Cindy says, I think some of them needed more airtime.
They do. When you have 10 people on the stage, you're never going to get.
And I'm going to get the rest of these comments. And Cindy, we're going to talk about the guy in neck ear was de Blasio. And Lauren says, no, we don't like that Medicare for all. And it's Tay says, Kamala's plan will tax everyone making over $100,000 a year. Hell no, I'm not paying for that. And Cindy says, Biden had a press conference too. And Gloria says, and I definitely don't trust Cory Booker. Yeah, Cory is corny.
Yeah.
In our neck of the woods, they say when you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you don't know the flavor.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody has used that for what, 15, 20 years?
his name from now on, you ready, is Corny
Booker.
Cory.
Yeah, Corny Booker.
Corny, yeah, Corny Booker. I was like, it's corny. This. And
he cursed on the stage.
I like a little cursing now and again, you know.
Because passion. It's just passion.
I don't do that here, but I can do it now. And then Lori says he needs to stop. And then Cindy says we need to be better as a community than Gabbard is eye candy. Now, eye doctor appointment is needed. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Yes.
And Lori says, so true. I love that as well. He stayed on point. Yes, he did. And Cindy says Booker is not winning New Jersey, messing up the Kool-Aid statement. Yeah. And you also say, yes, we do say immigrants. Why? You talk about us reckless about us. So I don't know what that means.
Well, what I'm saying is geographically.
Okay.
Like here in California, we say Mexicans, but most of the people that were protesting in Detroit were Mexican, but they're grouping themselves in the immigrant thing. So Sydney, this is what I go about the ADOS and us being different. Us being different than the other group. When we group ourselves with everybody else, it waters down our plight.
Right. And then Tay, so we were getting right here about de Blasio says, de Blasio got dragged and it was less deserved. There was no justice for Eric Garner, and he had the black ass nerve to stand up there and say there will be justice. Yes. So let's talk about de Blasio.
Okay, next I know you're going to go into it real deep.
Go ahead.
Here's my stance on de Blasio. I don't give a damn what the police union says. I don't give a damn what repercussions you might deal. You're the fucking mayor. Fire the man and worry about the repercussions of it later. That man has no business still being on the police force, getting paid by tax dollars, and you're sitting up there talking about, well, you know, I'm going to be president and I've got a black wife and all this other stuff. Get the hell out of here. That's my stance.
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head for me. So, you know, de Blasio, there was protesters out there as well saying, yo, when you going to fire this cat? Daniel, what's his last name? Starts with a Pellegrino, something.
Paliano or something like that.
Something like that. So we know
Italian.
that he is the officer that murdered Eric Garner. He murdered him in cold blood. We know he said, I can't breathe 11 times before ultimately choking him to death. Coroner came back and said, oh, it was because he had an enlarged heart. No, it's because you choked him out over some Lucy cigarettes. So anyway, we know that now the DOJ, Department of Justice, just said, you know, Trump's guy, we're not going to
Of
press any
course not.
charges.
Of course not.
So he has gotten away with the murder, and so de Blasio, when he was asked about it, said, well, you know, the DOJ, they dropped the ball, but it's still an investigation, I promise you, in the next 30 days. But to Donovan's point, you are the HNIC over there. What you could one word, I mean, he could have said, hold on a second, and sent a text and said, fire him tonight.
Tonight.
And
I want him off the force now.
Right.
Same thing with Buttigieg.
Exactly.
Same
He's
thing.
going through the
You're
same
the mayor.
thing.
You're the executive. I don't care. Yeah, he can sue and get an appeal or whatever, but right now, he is gone.
Right. So you got this cat who's working and making probably a lot of money after he murdered this man in front of the whole world to see. Not only is Eric Garner dead, his daughter, who was protesting, died,
right.
and his stepfather died right after the decision came down that they weren't going to do anything to us. So it's like, how many of his people have to suffer? Because you only know, you don't know, but you know that they died probably of a broken heart or just, you know, being so infuriated that this man murdered our loved one and is not even getting away with it, he's working. Probably with back pain and the whole nine, just, it's a slap in the face. And so
or getting paid while sitting at home. He's still on the force. The point is he was not fired.
But, you know, Bill de Blasio likes to throw up the fact that he's got a black wife and, you know, I got a black
kid
son.
and all that.
But yet you're not sending a message. You're so afraid of the police union and all these other people, white people. But de Blasio at the end of the day is still a white man, and so he understands, I got to still please white people.
Exactly.
Black people get mad and go away.
Like we always did.
But they're not. I mean, there's a whole host of people, not even just black people, that are calling for this man to be fired. Like, why is he still working?
Yes.
So to Donovan's point,
all the way in Detroit.
how the hell are you going to be president and then you can't make a decision that's already on your level?
And not worry about the repercussions. You're not always going to make the right decision. Okay, I fired this guy. The police union appealed it, went all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court overturned it. I did the right thing.
He's out of here.
Yeah, I can't say what other people are going to do.
And then while you guys are having your investigation, because he needs to be held on murder charges, he don't need to be drawing any more money.
Right, I'm the executive. I'm not signing his paycheck.
Right, and so Charles says, who the F don't like Medicare for all? You all got to be kidding me. Please defend for-profit health care then.
That's kind of rough
I didn't make that comment.
Yeah, I think it was Tay when Tay said that.
It was Lori and said she didn't like the whole Medicare for all.
Right.
I mean, I'm for where people get the help they need, regardless. I mean, because I make the argument for people who are against Obamacare. Well, if somebody gets hurt, they go to the emergency room, and they don't have to fund. Somebody's going to pay for it.
You got to pay for it, and you pay at an alarming rate in the emergency room.
Whether the taxpayers are going to pay for it, you're going to, have a bill. Somebody's got to pay for it. If we got the means to do it, why not? You know.
Like Bernie said, right over here in Canada.
All of that.
They got free health care, all this stuff going, and they pay a lower rate than we do. Come on. I mean,
Bernie Sanders, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on. It's just, you know, I mean, what is it going to take for you? Why do, people, the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. Look at Germany, England, France, Canada, Australia. They pay a lower rate, even if we went over there.
Well, you know, we do have the eugenics program too,
right,
so we need to understand there's a lot of people ain't supposed to make it around here.
Right,
you know?
but even if we got hurt over there, they're not going to provide us a bill.
Right, I agree. Hey,
come on,
Charles, we get it. And then Tate says they were protesting in the debate venue.
Yeah,
yes, I saw that. It was I saw a picture of but you know what? And I meant to post that this morning. I took the screenshot the picture that they took of a black woman being constrained. I think a black man was with her. And obviously she's upset talking about Eric Garner. And everybody that was in her shot was white, and they were focused on the stage. They paying attention to her. And I said, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the whole overall picture of racism in America. Black people have been catching hell since we've been brought over here. And for the most part, white people are just like, oh.
Not my problem, not my issue.
Put more mayonnaise in the casserole, Susan.
Yes.
Oh, over there, no, the black people are just being shot, but what's for dinner?
Exactly.
You know, and that's what it looked like to me. They weren't just like,
They were
and
not
they taking
concerned.
pictures of the stage, like,
And they're not concerned because these are also the same white people that are going to get in the booth and vote for Donald Trump.
exactly. And we're going to talk about that too. And Charles says exactly, Donovan fired that murderer. Absolutely.
Get
And
rid of
Cindy
him.
says, Donovan speaking like a non-New Yorker, laugh out loud. They are going to fire him. And the union will get his job back. That is a child rapist as a teacher. Or there is a child rapist as a teacher. They fired her. Where is she at? It says, where's she at? The damn rubber room on 52 Broadway. What? Getting paid and getting overtime.
Yeah,
Damn.
but you know, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's right. That's the system, whatever. But you're the executive. You've got to make a decision
And-
that reflects on you.
Correct. And even if they do overturn it,
Yeah.
at least he can say, I did my part for seeking justice for a man who was murdered in cold blood, period.
Period. Regardless of the consequences. If it's going to cost you your job, stand up and do what's right.
And Charles says, get the Blasio D. Well said. I mean, it just, you know, like Donovan said, you're the boss. What are you waiting on?
Right.
You know, you waiting on black people to get back to sleep, huh?
Right, but
they all right now.
Or reverse that situation. If that was a white person, oh, he's suspended immediately. We've got to get.
Why else? The black man is in Minnesota that shot the white woman.
Yeah.
What he
locked
doing?
him up 9 years. 9 years.
And paid her family $22 million.
22 million. How? Where's the police unit to protect this guy?
And he said the exact same things that
I
the white.
feared for my life.
I saw her reaching.
I feared for my life.
Nah, nigga. No, you didn't. You killed a good white woman.
Justice for a white person is always.
Absolutely. They gonna get theirs. And Charles says that was a good Bernie impression by Donovan and spitting facts. No, Donovan has missed his calling in life.
Right,
This dude should be an impersonator. I swear, we don't know who we can have here, okay? It could be anybody, or maybe he's schizophrenic.
A little bit.
You taking medicine today?
No, but like I said, when my VA thing comes up, I need you as a witness.
Right,
He's got
okay.
different personalities.
How much am I getting? No, I'm just kidding. And Cindy says, we had a AAMTA worker peed on a computer, then tried to fire him. Guess what? Not a court case, not one hearing. Kept his job. I need a union job. Damn.
Absolutely. That's what you should do. Look, a federal worker working in the military, or just the federal system, it takes an act of Congress and God to get those guys out of there.
Did you guys, speaking of which, sidebar, did y'all hear about what Trump is trying to do? And this is military stuff, so you probably know. He advised the head naval guy to take the medals from the prosecutors that tried to prosecute the Navy SEAL that just got away with killing somebody.
Right.
He demanded that they take their medals.
Yeah, their ranks and stuff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And some Navy expert, somebody said, this is unheard of.
Yeah.
He said, I've never in my memory or ever remember a president stooping so low as to try to strip somebody of their medals. Because he said they should have never went after him anyway. He's a good American and, you know, the whole whoopie wow.
That's what happens when you have a commander-in-chief of the military. Commander-in-chief of the military, not of citizens, of the military.
Right.
He is the president of citizens. He's the commander-in-chief of the military. People just get it right. That's what happens when you have a president who doesn't have a military background.
Right, and Tay says Emerald Garner is on CNN right now.
Oh, awesome.
Is that his other daughter that's been giving him hell? Because Erica passed away, the one that was really speaking for, And Tay says apparently the cop will learn the fate of his job tomorrow.
Okay.
I hope so.
I hope so, right.
You can't be president of the United States if you can't be the mayor of New York.
Right.
I mean, come on. Sam I Am, what's happening? He says white privilege is at its best. Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of which, real quick, before we go into the next segment, how many of you guys saw Martin Luther King niece?
Oh, yeah.
Getting her butter biscuits. Getting her butter. And you guys wonder why I say Generation Fail.
Yeah, she said Trump is not a racist.
Yeah, he's concerned for all Americans. Getting her butter biscuits.
She must be getting that good premium butter on her biscuit. I mean, is she getting some syrup too?
I have no idea.
Is it molasses?
Because, at first I thought it was a real Morlock walking out of the White House.
You know what?
Because, it's all frizzy and stuff, and she's kind of frumpy. I'm like, that's Martin Luther King. Not that she's supposed to be like some dime or something, but I'm just thinking, I'm thinking, okay, she's going to come out there and tell us something. No. I was like, oh my my goodness.
She was cooning with a hard capital C.
Man, we ain't got a chance.
And Al says, is Donovan getting darker? I think it's the light.
It's the light. It's the light. I'm not getting darker. Well,
I know,
no, what? You know what? Maybe I am. I was outside my backyard working, so.
He was picking, and learning, he was practicing picking cotton for when
That's
it
the
go down,
sound
go
of
down.
the man
Yeah, he was
working
like
on the
this,
chain.
picking cotton. He was like this.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yes. You got to break it up.
No, you get whooped because you picking too slow.
Right.
Okay.
No, I'd be that guy that be dragged the next day because I ran. And you're going to put me in the shed and I'm going to give up everybody's name.
Yeah, okay. Right. You know, we all going to be getting whooped. Gloria says, I know you don't like Biden, but I think he did good last night, even though he was attacked from every direction, except that Michael guy, I forget his last name, he showed class. Michael Bennett. Joe Biden knows he's going to get the nomination.
And he's going to fool the generation fail because of the Obama years. And I was Obama's president or vice president. There's a reason why he picked me. All that bullshit.
Right now, I think all the stuff and initiatives that he's coming up with and trying to change what he did is not for the black people who will vote for him no matter what. It's for the black people who will not vote for him.
Right.
To say, because he needs the black vote is a fact.
Yeah.
And so,
and I did a show Tuesday explaining that new thing that he put out. It's a total reversal of his bill that he did in '94, which, if you by definition, that makes you a failed politician because that was what his fame was going to be on. I'm tough on crime.
well, does that help remedy all the things, the ills that went on in the black community?
No, not at all. Because people got killed, families have been destroyed. And now you're like, oh, I made a mistake. That's your. I don't know.
Yeah. And so let's see. As Cindy says, and the only two charged, the Puerto Rican man who recorded it, and the black woman sergeant. Yeah. So there is a guy who actually filmed the whole incident. I can't remember his name. Puerto Rican brother who was actually in prison. They trumped up some stuff.
Yeah, on him. So he can
and it was really
because
he filmed it and released it. But yeah, I don't know if he's still in prison, but what did he get, like 6 years, 2 to 6 years or something like that? Some nonsense. They're recording the whole thing, and he's the one that ended up going down for the count. And then Tay says, yes, that was the one that was protesting. Yes. And Sydney says, we are always a pawn.
Always a pawn.
And then Tay's replying to Sydney, because we allow it. Yep. And Charles says, what Biden did good, shaking my head.
Well, he did good comparative to the last debate.
Oh, yeah.
That's what my measurement is, the laugh from the last debate. Because he looked like he was on his meds or something like that.
Yeah, he was like.
I tried to be nice. I didn't.
Where are we?
Yeah. I didn't get the nomination. This isn't my inaugural.
Yes, and then let's see. Tay says, Biden has a terrible history and it's being brought to light, and he needs to be held accountable. He won't apologize for his BS.
Generation Fail is still going to vote for him overwhelmingly.
I like that Biden. Him and
Obama, yeah. And nothing you can tell him. And it's, and it's really sad that, we have reverence for our elders, but it's really sad when you go to them and say, and think about this, you guys. Our elders are like, they got their Social Security, they got their medical, they got their
butter biscuit.
Their butter biscuit, they got their prescription meds and all this other stuff, right? And they want us to stand up and help them. But when we say, hey, well, what about us? What about the collective? Oh, no, they ain't with us.
I don't know about y'all, but I got mine.
Exactly.
And Lori says they all need the black vote. Yes, Republicans not so much because they don't really benefit from it.
The Republicans ain't even trying to get our votes.
I mean, you got to remember, still in the majority of America is white. So, the Republicans are going to have them. Not saying that all white people are Republicans, but a lot of them are. It'd be nice if they got some of the black vote, but they ain't counting on it as much, And then Charles says, thank you, Donovan. Biden, 50 years of failed policies. Absolutely.
You're failed.
And Laura says, anyway, laugh out loud. Let's talk about, I think, Biden, the comment. And then Cindy says, still in prison. Yeah, so the Puerto Rican brother still in prison for bringing to light the murder of Eric Gardner. Isn't that something?
It's a shame.
I mean, it really is a shame. And so, something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, well, we could talk about... I'll go ahead and let you transition to the other one.
Good. Keep going.
I want to talk about Trump, I forgot his name. Trump, and attacking Al Sharpton and obviously Elijah Cummings, just continuing on with the racist rhetoric. And I just, like, because I do a lot of reading, and I've been reading a lot of stuff about the Trump thing and, you know, him name calling and stuff like that, and the people who support him. I think what we need to realize is the people who follow Trump are not loyal to America.
Exactly.
They are loyal to Trump, which is the definition of a what? A cult.
Cool.
There's nothing that Trump, at this point, we just need to just come to terms with that. There's nothing that he can do or say to sway them. And Trump knows that. Trump knows all he got to do is say, okay, what's that really good racist thing I can say, I can tweet about? Not because he doesn't care about pissing us off. He cares about getting his base. Yeah. You tell him, Trump. Yeah, you're right. Because as I was explaining to Al before we were coming over here, is the people who are voting for him, Trump, knows that the country is going to be brown in, 20, 30 years. It's going to be more brown than white. And so when he says those things, send them back to their country. Or, you know, infestation.
It's a dog whistle.
Right. And that reminds them, yeah, you're right. Somebody's speaking up for us because we need to keep it white. We need to stay as the majority.
Right, but here's the funny thing. All the laws that have been made, the NAFTAs, the TPP.
It hurts them.
No, but who makes those laws? They did.
Well, I agree with
They
you.
opened these borders.
But
they gave these incentives for these people to come here.
But this is the thing, though. Trump is not very. He's not intelligent, but he is. And because I'm one of those people like to deal in a gray area. Trump is not intelligent because he says a lot of stupid things, does a lot of stupid things. However, he knows how to use those stupid things because those stupid things appeal, and I hate to say it, but it appeals to stupid people. I saw an article, I didn't get to read it yet, where these truck drivers who were for Trump were saying that all the trade agreements and stuff that he's making has actually hurt them. But it's like,
we're still gonna go for him though.
I saw something where it says one trucking company went from making millions to like 1,000.
Right.
In a matter of no time because they just can't operate the way they used to.
You know, because it's that Obama's fault. You know, it was Obama.
Right.
Because of Obama.
So in regards to, let me get to you guys' comments really quick. Let's see. Tay says now he's attacking Don Lemon. And he'll probably cry on TV too. And Cindy says we cannot pay attention to Trump and his supporters. No, absolutely. And then Benny says that's what he's supposed to do. Absolutely. So that's the point that I'm making. He's appealing to his base. That's it. I mean, so he knows that. And this is the kind of a thing too. If you guys really think about it, try to follow me because this is still in my head. Trump is actually making hypocrites out of a lot of black people. And I mean that by this. So he attacks Al Sharpton, right? And he says the things that a lot of black people said about Al Sharpton for years. He's a con man, or he shows up to, he's an ambulance chaser, if you will. It's going to paraphrase what Trump is saying, but a lot of black people are saying that for years, and now all of a sudden, we're mad. Obviously, we're mad because it's coming from Trump, who's a douchebag, but it's almost like, okay, I'm going to throw that out there and see if they disagree. Because you agreed with it before I said it, but now that I said it, it's terrible. It's terrible. But it's like, he's just going after those things that he knows that we talk about. Does that make any sense? You know, like the thing with Elijah Cummings. A lot of people got upset about that, but it's like, damn, is some of that true?
Exactly.
You know? As I always say, we got to stop getting distracted by Trump being a douchebag and still hold the rest of Washington accountable. There's still people there who need to do their job, right? And so I agree, we should not focus on Trump, but I think when we realize that there's nothing we can do or say to change their minds.
And you know, and here's the funny thing about talking to a person, and they were saying, oh, you know, 4 more years of Trump. And I tried to wake her up, and I said, well, what has Trump done to black people that any previous president hadn't done? We had a black president, didn't do shit for us. And those are facts. I know people don't like to hear it, but those are facts. Obama was not put in there to help black people. He was put in there to stop the Occupy Wall Street movement that was happening all over the country, and to put the Wall Street bankers correctly and not prosecute them. Because remember, under the Obama administration, nobody was prosecuted.
Right, you're right.
So, so
in fact, a lot of corporations got bailouts.
got bailouts,
right.
exactly. So, so if you think about this, okay, what if Trump does win? What you gonna do? Would you go around the corner?
I mean,
you know what I mean? You know what?
And it's very probable that Trump will win.
Yeah.
So what's our plan B?
Yeah. What's the plan B?
We're going to sit on our hands for 4 more years and say, okay, maybe this time around. Because the rate the country is going, they'll just get another racist douchebag in there.
And if you watch the debates, there were more Republicans on that stage than there were so-called Democrats. I saw 3.
Kamala being one.
I saw 3 progressives, but almost all of the so-called Democratic candidates were sounding like Republicans.
Right.
They were using Republican talking points.
Right.
So.
And then Sydney says, on a side note, got my results back from no blocked arteries, family history of heart attacks. Well, you
right on,
go.
brother.
Are you still vegan?
Right
That's
on.
good news. And Benny, I should have said, what's up to you? I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope everything is going well
exactly.
for you. And you say, the American people are stupid, so he knows how to appeal to stupid people. Absolutely. That's all it is. Trump is a salesman at the end of the day.
And the salesmen are nothing but liars.
Yeah, silver tongue. What's trending today on a racist, talking points? Tell them to go back to their own country. Okay,
Yep.
I put it in the tweet. Go back to your own country.
But here's the thing. Everybody jumps on Trump about, we know he's a liar, whatever the deal is. But see, he doesn't hide what he does. I mean, the guy yesterday was saying he was there at 9/11. He was there with he doesn't consider himself a 9/11 responder, but I kind of do, because I was there. We know he wasn't there. That wasn't true. But
Even if he was, what was you doing?
Yeah, but what makes him any different than a Kamala Harris? What makes him any different than an Amy Klobuchar?
Right.
I mean, Kamala Harris just got caught telling lies. What's the difference?
Back to back.
What's the
And
difference?
Charles says, yeah, Trump is a fascist and has a cult following. We know racist supports racists, and of course, America's system of white supremacy. The thing people don't want to talk about, white Democrats complicit. I think that's what you're trying to say. Let's see. Complicity during this 3 years, as well as the 8 years of Obama and 8 years of W and 8 years of Clinton. Bush, and 12 years of Reagan and H. Bush. I'm just pissed that blacks want to act like America's system of white supremacy started when Trump took office 3 years ago.
Thank you.
Excellent.
You got it. You got it.
And that's the point that we try to make all the time. I mean, racism didn't just come about because Trump came into office. It was always there. Racism now just has a great spokesman, if that makes any sense. And then Cindy says, we also need to get prepared, yes. And Benny says, I still believe Trump is the best thing that could have ever happened to black America. I agree.
Woke us up.
I agree. And it's waking us up. Can you imagine what 4 more years would do? We either going to shit or get off the pot at this point. There's no sense of keep complaining. The Democrats are not going to do anything for us. They haven't, and they're not going to start all of a sudden because we need to get rid of Trump. And as an article I read too, it says black people are being sold the idea of, hey, just put off all the stuff you're asking for this time around because we need to get rid of Trump,
Right.
and then next time
we
can entertain it. But it's like, how many people really have next time? We can do in 4 years if we were to unify. So I agree with you, Benny. And Cindy says, I can go home. You said, are you at the hospital now? And then Benny says, what's up, sis? And what's good, big bro?
What's
I
up?
said hi to him.
What's up?
And then Cindy says, so now 9/11, he's watching Muslims in Jersey City applauding. He now is a first responder.
Yeah, exactly.
And supporters are probably like, yes, I saw him there when the plane was getting ready to hit. I saw he was there before the first responders.
Exactly.
And it says Trump just made racism cool. Yeah, I mean, exactly.
It's cool until they start getting their asses kicked. Then
Right, but she's right.
Yeah.
He made it to where it was like, I'm a racist and I'm proud.
Yeah.
MAGA. You know, it's fashionable now.
Well, you know, and I was talking,
It was before, but now it's like really fashionable.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that, and I was telling them, I said, and I think it was you this morning. Remember when I was on the phone and I said, everybody wants to be on the winning team. Remember when everybody was a Dallas Cowboy fan?
Right.
Everybody was a Chicago Bulls fan. Everybody was, you know, now Golden State, the Lakers.
Right.
Everybody just wants to be on the winning team no matter what the hell's going on.
Right.
You know, nobody has any loyalty to that, you know.
And then somebody, I think it was Charles, talked about all his predecessors who dealt in racism. Of course, we heard that there's some tapes that came out with Reagan.
Oh, of course, Reagan's been
calling Africans monkeys and talking about their tails.
How could you guys not think Reagan wasn't a thing? There's never been a picture where Reagan is shaking a black man's hand.
Well, you know, he was standing next to the black woman when he talking about the welfare queen.
Right, right. And then remember when he gave Michael Jackson that award, he didn't shake Michael's hand?
Right, so, I mean...
And then, let's not even talk about Republicans. That's our thing. We get too caught up in this them versus us mentality. LBJ, the black man's best friend, according to the NAACP, right? What did he say? He goes, when I sign this legislation, I'm going to have those niggers voting Democrat for the next 500 years. That's what he said.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. Not that good white man.
Yes, that good
well,
white
Well,
man.
if the NAACP liked him, then we like him too.
NAACP is a white organization.
It's there for your Google,
Yeah,
you know, just
right.
Google it.
Right.
I'm just like, cause you know, there's people who say that.
Yes.
Well, that was in the past. This is now.
So his words.
No.
Because it's in the past. I guess the Bible has no relevance either. It's just words.
No. You take it too far.
I got you.
You're going a little too far now.
This good white man. You know?
And Jay says the Reagan administration sprinkles crack through the black community, but yeah, we are shocked that he's a racist, right? You know.
Come on.
And again, you know, he coined a welfare queen. Black women are welfare queens, and those black pickaninnies is sucking up all the welfare.
Well, you know, there you go again. Talking about, me being a racist. It's just an opinion. I stand by what I said because hate speech is protected by the Supreme Court.
Ronald Reagan, y'all. Ronald Reagan. And Cindy says, I did watch the debates out here. Interesting to hear the Republican and Democrats' opinions. And then Benny says, you see how fast the issues of reparations just disappeared?
Yes, immediately, and when they started going on it, they were like, moving on, time's over.
And then, with Don Lemon, with Marianne Williamson, he had the nerve, well, what makes you qualified?
You know, if I was and Williamson, I would have told him the same thing that makes you qualified to bend over and take it in the keister. Doesn't take, basically what I'm saying in that statement is, it doesn't take much to bend over and take it. It doesn't take much to take 1 + 1 + 3 + 4. You know what I'm saying? So
I think he would have cried on TV. She would have said that. Yeah, and of course, now that I guess Trump is going after Don Lemon, I'm imagining we'll get, his segment of, I'm ready for you, Donnie.
I'm with you on that, Cindy. The Bible is, it's just words. It's just,
Yeah, right.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was making a point that, well, if what LBJ said was in the past, well, ain't the Bible in the past too? So
let's throw it all out.
Because those usually be the same people who, big time Bible thumpers are. For them, I don't know. I guess the Republicans, because you see all these good pastors up there with Trump talking about he's not racist.
Right.
How much you putting in the tithing basket?
Like I said, I'm a Reverend King's niece. I need my butter biscuits, because I'm a trumpet. What you need me to trumpet? You see that this man is who he is, and you come out here talk about he's for everybody.
Right. And let's see.
Mexicans are rapists, blacks are this, shitholes, and all this other stuff, but he's for everybody.
Right, and then Cindy says, be right back. Gabby talking about her trip to Syria and meeting with Assad. Okay,
oh, right on.
Posted.
Keep us posted on that.
And Al says, all of Reagan's Western movies were awful. Well,
but he was good in that baseball movie he was in. I forgot the name of it, but the Lou Gehrig story or whatever it was. I forget what it was. He was really good. Him and Doris Day were in that movie.
Okay. And Benny says, the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia made me want to throw up with how she was talking about Joe Biden.
They love
Is that
them.
the newly elected mayor?
They love those
Keisha
butter
Lance
biscuits.
Bottoms? Yeah.
They love them butter biscuits. You know, put some cheese on that.
I kind of didn't get a good feeling for her when she was running and stuff.
It's all about power. There's no difference.
She's hard on black people too, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
as far as
and so is
some of her policies
Yes.
and some she was doing
and
before
so
that.
is the chief of police of Atlanta, female. She don't take no prisoners.
And Tay says Gillibrand trying to white woman her way into the reparations talk. She is going to talk to white people about it. Girl, by white Trump supporters don't care about people of color unless they are the help.
Hello.
Absolutely. Also thought another moment.
Hey, when are you coming back on the show?
Right, when she tried to fight with Joe Biden. Talking about, you said this about women, that women, when women left the home, that the homes, and I'm paraphrasing, went downhill. How dare you say that women shouldn't try to work? And he was like, hold on, boo-boo. I was a single father for 3 years when my wife died, and the wife that died worked, and my wife worked now. So I was like, that was an epic fail, Christian, but nice try. He was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna get me on this woman shit, okay?
Right.
I had an apron on too.
but you know what though, and that's another thing. You gotta think, Biden is a man of his time. Our parents are people of their time. When our parents were coming up, black and white.
And I'm not voting for Joe. I'm going to say that right now, but he should have just owned it and say, hell yeah, when a woman left the home, then the civility in the home left too.
Right.
Kids is wilding out in public and doing the most and going to jail at high rates. Yeah, so the woman needs to stay home to raise the children, and the man be out there making the money or whatever, but
no, he
I know I probably got myself in trouble with that.
But he, you know what he should have said was this. Yeah, you're damn right. My wife is out there working and raising the kids and doing what she's supposed to do. Just like I told her, you could be out there in that now movement, but I better have my goddamn apple and dumpling and casserole here at 7 o'clock when I get home.
Right. And Tay said, FYI, the Dow is down again because Trump is talking about tariffs on China again.
I'm losing money.
I haven't even checked mine in a couple weeks. I've been so busy.
Yeah.
And Charles says, that was great. Racism has a great spokesman in Trump. Yeah, but Obama was the perfect face of spokesman because he gave everyone that opium, sleep, and solid and soul. I'm sorry,
NyQuil for Negroes.
Bush/Cheney war on brown Muslims. Yes, he did. Let's see, Muslim people from 2 to 7. Obamacare. I have a problem with minimizing lives because we are U.S. citizens. We are all victims of domestic terrorism as blacks. But damn, justifying Obama because he is handsome, light-skinned, and great oral speaking skills, but not a damn one policy for blacks, but those sodomized got it all.
That's it. And that's how it is. And here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, they're throwing this talking point about Trump like, oh, well, you could indict him after he leaves office. Don't worry about it. We're going to get him after.
Yeah, he's just doing a bang-up job while he's in there, though.
George Bush violated international law when he invaded Iraq. There was no weapons of mass destruction, whatever. Killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. 4,000 or 5,000 Americans have died. Hundreds of thousands maimed. People maimed. We're not even talking about all that other stuff. They let it go. Do you honestly believe? Do you people honestly believe that they are going to go ahead and prosecute Trump after he leaves office? Do you actually believe that?
No.
It's not going to happen.
And Terry's replying to Al saying he was a low-budget John Wayne. He's talking about Ronald Reagan. Did you guys also hear that Osama bin Laden's son and another person was killed, and they think that he was killed in the last 2 years? Why was he killed? They talking about, they thought he was trying to restart with what his father Osama bin Laden did, but it's like, well, what did he actually do?
But here's the funny thing.
Because they have to make sure to tell you that he was responsible for 9/11.
Yeah, number one, Osama bin Laden was not responsible for 9/11. Number two, the Taliban, or not the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda was a CIA-started organization.
Right.
We funneled money and weapons to that organization.
But
Osama bin Laden had nothing to do with it.
If you're asleep, Osama blew up the World Trade Centers and all of that.
Had nothing to do with that at all.
And Cindy says, talk with Anderson Cooper. I might have to read it later tonight. So she talked with her. Tulsi did. Okay. And let's see. Cindy says she wants to pull out of the Middle East with no plan, though.
What's wrong with that?
just get our stuff and go?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I mean, we've been there for 18 years and we're making it worse. Here's why you don't hear too. Here's the real reason why we're in Afghanistan. And I was there. Okay. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I.
Oh, come on now.
I'm not an expert.
Toot your horn.
Yeah, no, I'm not an expert, but I was there. Do you want to know the real reason why we're in Afghanistan and they don't highlight this on TV or anything? Afghanistan is famous for what? What is their most famous export? The poppy fields, the cocaine. Ever since we went in there, the opium, the poppy fields have grown significantly, and that's what they're protecting. That's it.
I believe you, brother. I believe
That's
you.
it. We're not leaving, and we should leave. Why not? What have we gained? Trillions of dollars that could have been spent here. We're over there blowing stuff up. And nobody has a problem, but when Marianne Williamson talks about reparations, there's no money, oh my God, let's study it. Wait.
Right. Right. And Al says, but Booker said the word shitty.
That's what it was, yeah.
Right.
Shitty.
He said Kool-Aid too. And Benny says, Donovan got me over here rolling. Yeah, Donovan, I'm telling you, he got a bunch of impersonators. This dude here, I'm telling you.
5150. I'm on
We're
hold.
gonna put his ass on
72-hour hold.
Yes, we're going to put his ass on the stage at the Improv. And Sydney says he is already indicted in the New York, Southern District in New York City.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to follow through because usually whenever these people are the same, they're not going to prosecute their own. They're not going to do it.
Right.
This George Bush is an international war criminal, what he did. No prosecution has ever come against him. Because we're not going to let we can't let the international court take our president and put him on trial. But a nigga like Charles Taylor down in Iberia, oh yeah, put him up. Put Mugabe up. Put all these black warlords up. Oh yeah, we're going to do all that.
Let's murder Gaddafi.
Yeah. But a white man? Like an American one? Oh, no.
Saddam, he's got to go too.
Yep. Oops. Oh, he didn't do it. Oops, sorry.
Right. And it was Iran. They finna start war that they already have, but they trying to disassociate themselves from the monetary system and start going to gold. So we'll be hearing about that too.
And we got to go in there and claim their clock.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. Bush doesn't go out where he's not welcome. I mean, some of these countries, because he's worried about them snatching him. Well, yeah, and then snatching him up as a regular citizen.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to be prosecuted.
Right.
Outside of the United States, they are waiting for the opportunity to snatch him up and put him in The Hague at the World Court.
Interesting. And Sydney says, we always fund our boogeyman. Absolutely. Because, Osama was like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Y'all was giving me some of this money.
He was a friend for us for over 20 years.
Sydney is saying weed and coca. And then the kush.
Good.
As Sam was saying, the coca. And Sydney's Tay says there was a military flight that just got busted for smuggling in cocaine from the Middle East and the U.S. And then J.P. Morgan Chase had a boat a couple weeks ago with a bunch of cocaine on it. So it's like, come on now.
I'm going to tell you guys this. I know people don't want to believe it. When a military aircraft leaves a destination overseas and then they come back to the United States, there's no customs that really look on that unless there's people on there, civilians, military dependents or something like going there. They don't inspect the planes. I can tell you as a crew member, not that I did it, I can tell you all kinds of aircraft, if they did it, I didn't know it was on the plane.
Yeah, go ahead with it, brother.
Yeah.
Plead ignorance on this one.
No, but there was like, we'd have these guys on there, you don't know what the cargo is. Because we got to have the weight and balance, but we didn't know what the cargo was. So we don't know what we were taking in and out of countries because they had a courier and the courier, knew what was going on, whatever. I mean, it goes on all the time.
You could have been a high-class drug smuggler as far as you know.
Yeah, and in the 80s, Bill Clinton was famous for that airport in Little Rock that they would fly drugs from the from the Central America in there. I mean, look it up on YouTube. Just put in Bill Clinton and drugs.
I've actually heard something about that. And Al says Gabbard's all-white pantsuit was nice looking, like a female Colonel Sanders. Stupid.
You should see her at the gym. I mean, she's, she has a nice, size on.
Okay.
Not
there you have it, fellas. I mean, she has a nice size on her presidential material.
Yes, absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, what the problem is?
Benny says donate elementary schools after Trump once he leaves office. Yes, all of the talking heads on liberal cable TV shows will lose their anger and malice toward him and speak highly of him.
Like they do Bush. Just
the
like they do
same way they do Bush. Yeah.
Just like they do Bush. He's on a book tour. Oh, look, he's painting. They're painting this guy
And
like...
Michelle Obama loves him. They're always snuggled up, booed up at every funeral they go to, and sharing her peppermints.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of her purse.
I mean, this power, it's the power party. That's in a real if we were in a real democracy, everybody, look at England, look at all these parliamentary democracies. There's more than one party. That's why there's a lot of infighting, but they still get a lot of shit done. We have two parties that keep robbing us deaf, dumb, and blind, and we think it's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Right.
Give me a break.
Give me more. He says, you're damn right, we skip customs like a motherfucker.
Kay knows what I'm talking about. We walk right out of there.
And Sam, I hope I'm saying it right. It says, how about that J.P. Morgan shit?
Yep, that's what you were just talking about.
And Cindy says her stories about Nam bringing drugs in dead bodies.
Yep.
Damn.
All the time, yeah. It's all about the money.
And Charles says, good point, Donovan, about W breaking international laws and not being held accountable during office after, especially by Congress or the media. I hope us veterans use our experience and try to, try to reach active duty persons into standing down, refusing orders to bomb poor brown people who pose no threat to American people interest at all, because it's the humane thing to do. These politicians have hijacked our military to do their dirty, cheap work to destabilize the Middle East for American oligarchy and terror states, Israel, Zionist, Greater Israel projects.
Absolutely, I agree with you, but that's why they call it training. They train us and brainwash. There's no difference between a military training, Marine Corps training, Army, Air Force, whatever, and Al-Qaeda training.
Oh, Jim Jones?
Yeah, or Jim Jones training. You're brainwashed to think, well, you know, the humanist in me, I'm not pushing the button. It came from the president, so I don't have any responsibility. I'm just a tool.
I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right,
the American way.
But here's the funny thing. When the Germans had that excuse during the so-called Holocaust, we said that wasn't good enough. I was just following orders. That's not good enough. And we started gassing them and said, okay, you're going, we're going to hang you too, because you should have stood up for what's right. So you're absolutely right. We should be doing that. But again, a lot of us want to be on the winning team. We care less. We want our butter biscuits and our benefits and all that other good stuff.
Right. And Sydney says, I'm telling you, he has to come home. Talk about Trump. So once all the shenanigans in Washington.
No. Have you noticed he hasn't been back to New York much at all? He's planning to go to Florida and stay down in Mar-a-Lago. He ain't going back up there because he knows y'all are waiting for him.
And Tate says the military aerial port guys are customs, the military police themselves. That's why we get away with a lot of stuff.
I'm going to tell you guys a true story. I went to Osan, Korea, told the loadmaster, bought a bunch of furniture, loaded it up on the plane. No questions asked, brought it back to the United States, nice brass bed, ready to go. No questions asked. Because you're supposed to declare that stuff?
Right.
Declare what? Declare what?
Damn. Benny says, Mena, Arkansas, and also that's how Frank Lucas was transporting dope in the 70s.
Rest in peace, Frank. He recently
absolutely
died.
right.
That's how we do it. I mean, so everybody don't be surprised at all this stuff. I mean, it's when I was stationed in Alaska, I had buddies that were met an Australian girl. We flew her back to Alaska with us. No customs was needed. And then, he commercially flew her back. I don't know what, or no, I think he took her back on the next flight that went back.
Damn.
That's how we rolled back in the day.
Can people still do that kind of stuff? We get some free flights?
You always got a tattletale in there somewhere that's going to say something. So.
Right. Well, if they watch this, they're going to be like, word?
That's how it used to be, the old military.
Right. And Sidney says him coming home might start the Civil War 2.0.
Yes, especially in New York. Man.
And then Sam I.M. says opioids is big business in this Western world.
Absolutely.
Opioids.
Absolutely.
And then Tay says, laugh my ass off, Donovan. That's how I brought my furniture.
See, I'm telling you.
They brought her furniture home like that.
Tay, isn't it a fact? If you can know a loadmaster, you could get all kinds of stuff shipped to your house when he goes on that trip, going to Germany or Spain or wherever he's going. Say, hey, pick me up a sword or pick me up a blah, blah, blah.
You scoundrels. And Cindy says NYPD has jurisdiction through the U.S. Ask R.Kelly and Black Lives Matter.
Yes. Yes, but I can almost guarantee you, just like Gerald Ford did for Nixon, everybody was waiting on Nixon to go to jail, right?
Right.
What did Gerald Ford say? Our long nightmare is now over. I'm going to sign this legislation and we'll just be done with it. That's what he said.
Amen.
And the man walked free.
Right. That he did.
All his crimes, couldn't prosecute him because the presidential pardon is not questioned. It's unilateral. It's automatic. Our long nightmare is now over.
I'm telling you, you have missed your calling.
I'm telling
If
you.
there's any agents out there, y'all looking for some old time in person, men, women, cats, dogs.
Hey, you know
name
what?
It.
I need to get the cartoon thing. That way I could be the voiceover
There
on
you
the
go.
cartoon.
Yes,
I could do the Purr
yes.
something like that.
So any agents out there, I'm his agent, but we looking for somebody to get us on.
Right, get us on.
You know.
Put us on. Right.
And Tay says,
I was supplied.
I made it happen.
Exactly. Collusion. It actually does happen.
And Cindy says, yes, I heard about your
base.
base sneaking immigrants from the border to Canada.
Oh, he's talking about Camp Middleton. It recently happened. Yeah.
The Marines.
You got to make some money. I mean, we don't make. People think we make a lot of money. We don't. And these guys took advantage of a system and an environment.
I just saw two in the news this morning. As a matter of fact, it might have been San Diego again. Some Marines that just enlisted. One guy, I think, just enlisted, and they were robbing 7-Elevens and got shot.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if it was here, but it was somewhere.
Yeah,
Florida, maybe North Carolina. I don't know.
That's not unusual. It usually does happen. So.
Crazy. And let's see. And Cindy says that's why it's a state charge. And Benny says, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I kind of like Yang. I like Yang.
I do too. Yang.
I like Yang too.
I mean, at least what he's saying is tangible, and it will help a lot of people.
Like I said,
if you just can't help me, help a lot of people.
$1,000 will
It'll lift a lot of people out
I'd
of
be
poverty.
no good with an extra $1,000.
Exactly.
Like what?
Like
Word?
$1,000, man. That's two
Not
car
today.
payments. You know?
Okay.
You know?
And then Charles says Donovan is funny too. A great balance. Yeah, Donovan is I don't know if he's on his meds today or off. Either way.
I need evidence for the VA so that these videos and stuff.
Right. They were like, that dude is Which patent you want? The large patent sell, or you know? Yeah, it's something definitely wrong with him. And so how much time we got?
We got 13 minutes.
All right, so I just wanted to kind of just take it, do a little bit of a fun scenario really quick. Let me try to find it. I saw it on Facebook, so I want you guys' opinion about it. So let me find it really quick. I actually took a screenshot of it. Okay, so here it goes. Bear with me. All right, so Al says Booker was interrupted by protesters. Yes, we talked about that earlier, shouting, watch Donovan Demetra on Tuesday and Demetra on Sunday. And then Cindy said he is off his meds. Got it. He just ran out for something. Think he's getting a delivery. His load master from the military is delivering a car or something outside. I'm going to silence his phone for him.
Somebody's trying to call me.
I just told him that you were outside getting a load from your load master from back in the day.
Get my butter biscuit.
All right, so check this out. The city says Booker is being a fake superhero. All right, so check out the scenario. Just really quick, I want you guys' opinion. Donovan has no idea what I'm going to say.
All right.
Okay, and the Benny says he's approaching this situation from a different vantage point. Talking about Booker. All right, so this one says, was I wrong? I met a woman on in a Facebook group. We hit it off and chatted in a post, and we PM, private message for a month. It's kind of written crazy, so bear with me. She lived in the same city, about an hour away. She told me that she was going to be near me on a weekday, and she wanted to see if I wanted to see her. I said yes. She asked where we should go, and I suggested a local pastry sandwich shop near where she was going to be after her meeting. She said that she looked forward to meeting me. I arrived about 10 minutes later. Then she showed up. We began talking. I ordered a sweet tea and a muffin. She ordered a wine, a sandwich, then another wine, then another wine, then a dessert, and a fourth wine. We had a nice conversation, and the place was closing in about 20 minutes. The waiter brought the bill, and since she had the bulk of the bill, he offered it to her. She didn't take it and pointed to me. I was surprised, but took it and opened the bill. Each wine equaled about $12. A sandwich was about $11. The cheesecake $8. The tea that he had was $3.50. The muffin was $3. My portion came up to about $6.50. Hers was about $67 before tax and tip. I politely indicated I would take care of mine, tax and tip about $25 of the $75 bill. I didn't ask her out, and let's see, it says, I didn't, I'm trying to find where I was. I didn't ask her out. She set up the date. She has a job, and I was willing to pay 3 times my amount to be nice. She then lectured me for about 3 minutes on how men need to step up and be men. They need to treat women better and respect them more. I sat and listened and nodded my head. I excused myself to use the restroom and to pay the bill. I got up and walked to the front. I handed the young man the bill and $10. Told him this was for her day and the rest will be taken care of by her. He said, okay, and then I walked out. I got about a half a block away in my car when my phone blows up. She calls me and I do not answer because I'm driving, safety first. When I get home, I had over a dozen text messages and 2 voicemails telling me what a loser I am. I must have a small thing. You guys use your imagination. or I can't get it up, and that I am a terrible father because I did not let her take advantage of me. And she says, he wants to know, was he right or was he wrong and for what he did? And so let me see what you guys said. I know that was kind of long, but I thought that was really funny. And let's see. Benny says, no, not Booker, Andrew Yang. Oh, yes. Andrew Yang is taking it from a different approach. He's doing it mathematically, if you will, to where it makes sense, right? And Al says, Kamala being slammed about her incarceration on black guys on weed. At least I think that's what happened. I was smoking weed when I brought up quitting lying. Al ain't never smoked no weed in his life. You know, he might benefit from a little weed every now and again. He might benefit from it. And Cindy says, sound like he dipped after not paying the bill. And then Cindy says, I ain't mad. And then Sam said, that was a date, laugh out loud. And Cindy says, now I see why Alan Donovan Sadiq said Gabbard is eye candy. Oh, did she turn around for you? I noticed. I was like, she got a big old one.
Yes, I mean, come on.
So anyway.
But she's Indian like Kamala. People keep forgetting Tulsi is an Indian woman.
So what do you think of that scenario? Was he wrong? I mean, she ordered, what, 4 wines? They've never met. She ordered 4 wines, a sandwich, dessert. He orders a tea and a muffin, and she asked him out.
Okay.
What would you have done? I already know the answer, but go ahead. What would you have done?
What do you mean what I would have done? Like,
go
she
ahead.
did that?
Well, if she, the bill comes, you had a muffin and a tea, and she had the 4 wines and the...
Well, me, because I'm a real man, I would have paid the bill, but of course I have big expectations after the bill has been paid.
And then she was like, okay, it's been real, dog.
Oh, no. Look, what's your father's number? Hey, look, I just paid $600-something, and all I got was this. Gloria, you better come down here and get this nigga something. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna pay. I work hard for my money. Don't mind, giving it up, but you gotta give it up too.
So you would have paid.
I would have paid, yeah.
Okay, so after how many wines would you have raised an eyebrow? She got 4 wines and...
Oh, no. After the 4, that was it. I mean, what she ordered right there, I ain't paying any more past that.
So 4 wines, you would have been cool with her having 4 wines?
Yeah, and like she's drunk, so I can take advantage of her? Yeah.
Okay, so let me see what you guys say. Cindy says no. And then Charles says he was probably right. I am tired of us nice guys being taken advantage of. Okay, and Cindy says, I was not being serious. Oh, okay. He said about Tulsi Gabbard, he wasn't being serious. And Tay says, okay, I'm not upset. She should pay for her meal. And Cindy says, who orders 4 wines, though? Well, she did.
Well, remember, she got to have one for the weekend coming up. And, that's what some women do. If you go over there and they say, oh, I'm going to cook the food, and you bring like a whole bunch of steaks, and then let's say there's 6 steaks. She only cooked 2. Where are the other 4?
For my other dudes.
Right.
And let's see. Oops. Oh, and then Tay says, okay, I'm not upset. She should pay for her meals. And And Cindy says, who orders 4 wines, though? And then Tay says, 4 wines sounds like she's an AA meeting. Cindy says, hell no, I would not pay for it.
Yeah.
Tay says, it's rude of her to eat like that.
Yeah.
She is using dude for free
Free
meal.
food, yep.
And Al says, you on a date? And the woman asks, what comes with shrimp and steak? The man should say, D.
Exactly.
So if she ain't gonna smash, I suggest she order the chicken strips.
Exactly. And the French fries.
Oh no!
Damn right.
And Charles says 4 wines. The next day would have been to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. And San Mario says she needed to go home with him if he paid. Damn. And Tay says, if this is the first time I am going out with a guy, for the first time I usually go Dutch.
But then if the guy's, a gentleman, whatever, he should pay, regardless if you asked him out or not. I mean, and you're being reasonable in your thing, because that says a lot about the guy.
Well, I say when having a hot girl summer goes wrong. When having a hot girl summer goes wrong, because it's like, I'm with Tay, that's a little rude. I mean, you go on a date, see, back in the day, women, mothers, grandmas would teach girls, you don't want to be a whole hog on a date.
Yeah.
You out there just, eating the buffet. Like on the Gone with the Wind is the best scenario I can think of, when she was saying, eat something now, because when you go out, you want to eat like a bird.
Right.
You don't want him to have the wrong impression of you. So here you are, you're throwing them back, having dessert and a sandwich, which, okay, it's fine. But to me, that also said, it embodied, what do we say? Well, a girl's got to eat.
Remember that part in White Chicks when, was it Marlon went out with...
I didn't see White Chicks.
You didn't see, oh my gosh. And he was like, oh, she'll have the salad, please.
Right.
And he was like, no, Negro. And he ordered all this stuff, ribs and all kinds of stuff. And had her feet up on the table after she got done eating. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
So yeah, I agree with Tay. It's from a woman's point of view, that's rude, and it's like, yeah, that does come off as get over. I'm getting over. How many glasses of wine do you need?
But are you getting over? Because I don't mind you ordering if you're gonna pay afterwards.
Well, she just thought maybe, because a lot of girls will go out on a date with a guy. Girls gotta eat. He'll probably be pissed off after I order 4 wines. I'll never see him again. But guess what?
Yeah.
I didn't pay for nothing, and so he did it one better. I was like, no.
Yeah. The funny thing is, about 80 years ago, in the 20s and 30s, a lot of women would go out with multiple men. I forgot what it was called. There was a term called, and they would just date, and that's how they would get their meals, especially here in LA and Hollywood.
Survival.
Yeah, it was survival, but it's like they would just go with different guys, and that's how they would get their meals to eat. The pleasure of having a woman in your company.
Yeah, and then Charles says, hot damn, D, that was brilliant. Having a hot girl summer goes wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, but these girls out there listening to Cardi B's wisdom on different levels of how you should be duping dudes.
Thoughtism.
Yeah, and then you out there taking Cardi B's advice, and now you at the bistro stuck with the bill because, you trying to take advice of... See, Cardi can get left there. Who knows if the lady really had money or anything?
Right.
But even if she had money or not, it's the fact that, damn, you gonna not only you just gonna bump my head, you gonna like knock it off. So I think she got what she deserved.
Absolutely.
I think people should walk away from any situation that's gonna leave them looking like a sucker.
But then, what kind of woman goes out and doesn't have money for when this guy might be a douchebag, and if you could, get out of that scenario and pay, to get out and go what you got to do.
To me, I think that definitely was a come up. She probably wasn't really interested in him. I'm gonna have all, he probably likes me more than like him. I'm gonna order all this food and hey, give him that thank you, that hug from the side. Hey.
Yeah, that's that friend zone movement, and once you get in that friend zone,
thanks for meeting me.
Yeah.
You're such a good guy.
Good guy. And then that's the guy she calls up later on when she's pregnant by the other dude, and he don't want to step up the responsibility. She's like, well, maybe we can get together. You're like, huh? What?
I'll just have 1 glass of wine this time.
Right.
Okay, so let's see here. How much time we got?
About a minute.
Okay, and then Cindy says that's the issue. Mothers don't teach their daughters. It is rude as F. No, Donovan Sadiq. That's prostitution.
Hey, you gotta remember, I was raised in an environment where prostitution, there's no problem with it. Overseas, we're the only country that doesn't recognize prostitution as a.
And I would say this about Donovan. Donovan is one of the last of a dying breed of men. Not saying anything else about anyone else, but like I said, I've gone out with Donovan and he sees women come in by themselves, and he'll tell the bartender, "I'm paying for their drinks." Yep. You know, and unfortunately, chivalry right there. Not, looking for nothing, and they don't even come and say, "Hey, thanks, dude."
Dog, cat, nigga, nothing. Yeah. But that's when that drink stops, because if you were nice to me, the tab is open.
They at the bar swinging ice like.
Yeah. Exactly. I keep the tab open. I'm like, no, cut her off right
Cut
there.
her off. Right in the middle of being thirsty. I'm parched. And then Al says the man should pay for the full date, and if he doesn't like her, state it. Don't be an effing coward and duck out.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's another point of view. And I actually saw some of the comments. A lot of men were like, I'd have just paid for her, but I wouldn't go back out with her. Yeah. A lot of dudes are like, yeah, she got me messed up. And so for those of you guys on the podcast, we will talk to you later. And let's see. Cindy says washing the dishes after a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And Tay says, Donovan, a lot of women go out with no money. Yeah.
No, I can understand that years ago, but now there's no excuse not to have like a credit card or something in case.
Like I said, I got wisdom from the older women. My mom and my grandma was like, shit, you never know. Because back then we didn't have cell phones. You might need to make a phone call.
Exactly.
You might need to have Uber. You might need to call a cab. This dude might, not be all that, and he leave you stuck on the side of the road. So you better have some money in your pocket.
Or stuck with that bill. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm ducking out.
Right. So... and let's see. And Sam I Am says that was using him a sweet friend. And Donovan says, Cindy says, Donovan, stop it. And Cindy says it was a meet and greet, not a date. Yeah, Donovan's getting some more shipment from something. Donovan's been rearranging his house, his backyard, and the whole nine. So he's constantly getting shipments and everything. So anyway, you guys. I don't have anything else. I just wanted to kind of see what you guys thought about that. It has been very fun, real and unique as always. And so we'll be back on Tuesdays. I had something to do on Tuesdays, which is why we're here today. And so you guys can think of anything you want to talk about. I don't care what it is, especially on Tuesdays. We're a little bit more liberal than we are on Sunday. Just inbox one of us. Let us know. We'll do the research or not and just talk about it. Whether it is dating scenarios, just anything, advice, financial, whatever we want to talk about, we'll do it. And so I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And Al says, when I'm in Cali, I don't want D to pay for anything. My grandpa taught me right. Yeah, Al doesn't want me to pay for nothing. Sometimes I have to fight him. So anyway, yes, Al is, and I'm sure a lot of you are, a last of a dying breed, so it's good to know. So anyway, I will talk to you guys on Sunday. All right. Peace. And Cindy says, thanks, Alan Donovan, for the tips to being a gentleman. Absolutely. That's what they're here for. So I will talk to you guys later. And if Donovan was here, he would say bye as well. So we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.